Man, let me ask you all this. It's something I brought up on Twitter. The absence of talking smack has created such a void to me because it made me care about these people so much. Like I watch like WWE 24 and I watch mixed match challenge promos and I'm like ride along and I'm like, oh, there's Naomi. She's really fun to watch. She's really interesting. She's really like charismatic and charming. And they get her on TV and they give her this drivel to read. And it's not her thing. It doesn't fit her very well. But I watch Mixed Match Challenge. I watch all those things I just mentioned. I watch Talking Smack. And I just think that she's magnetic on there. And that happens with no shortage of stars. Anna, am I alone? Like, even though like sometimes it didn't even contribute to any sense of a storyline, but it made me connect with these people on a personal level much more.
But yeah, exactly, because it was getting their characters over and it was giving them depth, which the show doesn't have otherwise. I'm learning because I help construct the promos at EPW, and I'm learning that, you know, sometimes the booking doesn't come into really late. Okay, we need to get a promo done. Let's focus on getting the characters over then. That's kind of the whole point. And then who knows what can grow once you actually have solid characters to work from. Whereas I just don't understand. That's what I was saying before. Like, what is the point of this show? It's not about the characters. It's not about the wrestling. It's not about the story. It's about McMahon's. Like, what? Why am I watching this now?
Jeff, what do you think of this?
Look, the thing I watch the most on the network is old studio wrestling. I watch a lot of the 605s from my youth, where it was just, you get guys in a small studio, they have a squash match for 30 seconds, they come in, you have 2 minutes to talk. Say something relevant, bring us into the building. That's what I loved about Talking Smack, is once you got rid of the heavy marketing hard sell facade, you could really get moments of real humanity. And yes, bad guys are real people too. And you could get a lot of the depth in the character development in there. And Daniel Bryan was such a great troll to bring out certain aspects, because they weren't concentrated on, you know, catchphrases and, you know, and slogans and all these other things. And they could really focus on saying something that mattered. And, you know, look, everybody points to The Miz as the high end on many of those shows, and it's true. And that's why Miz is on Raw today, and that's why he got yet another great contract extension earlier in this week. But it did so much for so many people. For Alexa Bliss going on that show helped her be more comfortable when she got on the quote-unquote A show in front of all those people. She had learned how to react. She had learned how to do snappy comebacks to other people in a genuine way. And then when she got the crappy scripted dialogue, she could actually then imbue some actual real emotion while portraying those terrible lines that she would often get. I mean, I'd love to bring this back and then put someone like a Bailey on there, because they were so lost with their character for so long and thinking, well, we have to do the, you know, the hugging teenage friend type thing as opposed to, you know, champion type thing, but we don't want to push her too hard on that. She could really find herself on a show like that. And look, promos to me are the heart of wrestling. It's fake fighting and talking smack. And that's all I ever wanted out of wrestling. And you're right. I mean, it was such a joy to watch that half hour of talking smack every week after SmackDown, when the Usos came on, when someone else came on. I'm sorry, I'm filibustering here.
And when you had
I miss it more than
Renee
anybody.
Young,
Yes.
one of the best in the business.
Renee is such a good, and Renee is a great straight woman, and they didn't give her enough credit for that.
Yeah,
many times she would just just her reactions of hearing something ridiculous and actually being able to react rather than stare off into space for 5 seconds, and then really helped make that show.
You have Daniel Bryan there, who doesn't give a shit about anything. That was the perfect combination.
He's pushing people. That's all he was doing, was pushing people to be better on that show.
I keep thinking about this 2 episodes of The Walking Dead, which, spoiler alert, I guess they were for a while ago. but they weren't necessarily my favorite episodes, but they were that well written. And one was when the governor came back after being disappeared. He disappeared for so long. It was just his episode. And we all thought, holy shit, he's changed. He's a good guy now. And the end of the episode completely flipped it on your head. And then the other side of that was this episode where Carol and Maggie, and I think one other person, were captured by these other people randomly. And by the end of the episode, they managed to kill every single person. But they're the good guys. But you saw their internal conflict. You saw what being their captive meant to them, what was on the line. So you felt for them. It didn't make them, oh shit, they're bad guys now because they've just gone and killed everyone. It's the same with the governor. You saw his soft side. You saw why he loved these people, but he's still a dick. He still is ruthless as shit. This is character dimension. And you're a TV show. You're a weekly episodic TV show. Do your job.
Breaking Ground made me care about Baron Corbin. And that is not easy to do.
Boy, that show did a lot for people on that.
That wasn't like one of my favorite wrestling shows at the time. That was one of my favorite TV shows. Period. I thought it was beautifully crafted and done so well. And I think WWE is doing a real disservice to themselves by not having Talking Smack. I would move a Bayley to SmackDown and have her on Talking Smack doing stuff like that.